and the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE Mattel unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we're going retro with the brand new Retro 4-pack Mattel Creations exclusive with Harley Race, Virgil, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and the Ultimate Warrior. But of course, for all your Mattel Creation exclusive needs, Mattel Creations. But for everything else wrestling related and retros in the future, hit up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. And of course, a lot of retros coming to Ringside Collectibles in the future. Cannot wait for that Jesse the Body Ventura figure. But before we get there, we got to get into this. And my boy, the Ultimate Warrior, riding again in the retro line. And what can you say about retros? We seemingly are unboxing some every single week on this channel. There's more third-party retro companies than anything else wrestling related. And a lot of people are having retro fatigue, the retro overload. I totally understand it. There is a lot of figures, and there's a lot of guys, like in the case of Macho Man, we're getting from so many different lines, it's almost overkill at one point. But Mattel was the first one to bring it back. They started this resurgence of retros way back when, of course, with the Mattel retros. I believe originally a Walmart exclusive, then went other places. But they're still going here, now only a few times a year. We don't get quite as many figures as we once did. And I think it's about the perfect amount here from Mattel. And a lot of people actually view the Mattel ones as the worst retros in the game, which is always interesting to hear. But they are the only ones that have the old school Hasbro action features. So you got to give it up to them, at least for continuing that tradition on. But of course, speaking of traditions, we're going to do this unboxing in all traditional style. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. But let's look at the shipper box here on this one. You get the four wrestlers, I guess we'll call them wrestlers, in this package here. Classic WWE Legend logo there. Ultimate Warrior looking good in the blue and white. I'm here for that, of course. Same image here on this side, and then you got the image here. So if you like to display these boxes like this, it looks good. Or if you want to display them like this, library style, it does look good. Legend line, jibber jabber, and then on the back, you get the black and white background. Of course, the ring to go along with it, cross-sell down below. Looking very good. But this is just the shipper box right here. We're going to go one by one, whip these guys out, and I'm going to whip out my Virgil. He's been known to whip a thing out a time or two, maybe a meat stick along the way. But we got Virgil in the retro line here, and a lot of people going back to the Hasbro days would have loved to have this Virgil. I agree with that. I think this would have fit very well back in the LJN days or Hasbro days. Unfortunately or fortunately, once again, we did get wrestling Virgil is what we got in the Hasbro days, which I was okay with that. I didn't mind having that figure, but this one is one a lot of people have been wanting, of course, in the retro style, and now the time is now here with this Virgil. Virgil, WWE, of course, the figure here. Then you got the, what's his finisher going to be? The Cash and Smash. Okay, that works. Authentic Superstar moves. He does come with some cash as well. Got to get the most out of your molds. We know how that goes. We got Virgil on the back, little tail of the tape. Got the cross-sell. Once again, you get the black and white backing. We see that in almost all retro companies going back to the Hasbro days. It does say Virgil. Virgil acted as a bodyguard and personal valet for the $1 Million Man. Oh, there was no acting. He was. Maybe not. But let's get him out of the package here. If I can. Should slide off. I believe this is removable packaging on these. Yep, there you go. Virgil coming out with his stack of money. And I do save the packaging on these, and I do buy a second set to keep in box. I'm all complete on my retros. Not sure if I'm going to stick with it. It could be a possible, that's so hard to say goodbye. Do I get rid of all my min-on-card retro figures? I don't know. It's on the fence. It's on the bubble. See you later. Goodbye. But we get Virgil. We get his money. He's stacking money is what he's got right here. So we got to stack some money here. And it looks like dollar bills. Is that what that is? He just stacked. Oh, that's hundreds. Okay, I thought it was dollars. Like he's stacking up them Washingtons. He's ready for a night at the club. And you know what club I'm talking about. I get my wife out there. It'd be great. But looking good. Looking good. You got some money. Definitely reuse with other toy lines if that is your thing. But now we're diving into Mr. Virgil himself. And man, Virgil's got some long arms. Those arms look extremely long compared to his legs. You're a wild human being if your arms are longer than your legs. But I think some people say they're supposed to be the same, but I feel like your legs need to be longer than your arms. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But he's got two big gripping hands on him right here. He's got that mean mugging Virgil face, and he's got a little of that side eye going like Todd McFarlane has in his action figures. Not personally. Well, right now personally, but he does got the side eye going on there. Very stoic, mad face on Virgil. But that really makes sense. He always kind of had a grumpy face back then because we did find out much later he was a man. He was being slaved around is what was going on. It was a terrible time. That Ted DiBiase should be brought up on charges if you ask me. But Virgil looking extra mad right here. And he's got that tux going on. You got the red and silver attack. Very cool. I always thought Virgil was a cool bodyguard manager, whatever you want to call it. I love that he could be physical if he needed to. He looked like $1 million. He looked like a wrestler. It just was a good fit with old Virgil and Ted DiBiase, I do think. Now, hopefully this money stays in his hands. Now, you're going to have to put it in there sideways, it does look like, because if you try to put it in just straight on, it does not stay. Man, there we go. Oh, I got to say, it stays in there very nice. A little hard to get in there at first, but once you get it in there, look at that. No issues. And that is, of course, the action figure movement right here. The cash and smash, the smash and cash, whatever you want to call it. But he does hold that very nicely. I do like that a whole lot. Now, he does got waist articulation, arms go around, head back and forth. That's all you're getting out of old Virgil right here. And he should fit on a Mattel ringside collectible stand. Yes, use the discount code Kyle, save 10%. Old Virgil ready to take on the world. Now, we do got Ted DiBiase. I think this one pairs better with the green suit. Now, the black is the holy grail DiBiase. That's what most people think of. But even as a kid, I always felt that DiBiase was a little bit small, just too small. And in my childhood playing days, once this Ted came around, this was my wrestling Ted. That one turned into a manager figure. Maybe it was Ted, maybe it was somebody else. Sometimes I would pretend it was Bobby the Brain Heenan. I don't know, maybe you did that kind of stuff too. But this would be the pairing as what I would go to on my shelf if I was going to display these together. But of course, old Virgil, you got to have that one there. Definitely darker skin tone on the modern day Virgil. A little bit more caramel color on this Virgil. But it is cool. It is nice to get Virgil. Doesn't feel like something that's needed, but when you think about it, you do need that Virgil in your collection. So, like the looks of that one. Who's number 2? I'm doing this old school Hasbro Royal Rumble style where you put all the figures behind your back and you have a Royal Rumble. Who's coming in next? We're going to do that. Are we going to save Warrior for last? What will end up happening? We're going to Bobby Heenan. That's where we're going. So we got Harley Race and Warrior around the corner, but we got Bobby the Brain, the Heenan right here, looking good in the blue here for Bobby Heenan. Possibly, if you wanted to say personalities, everything for wrestling, easily could be a Mount Rushmore. He could wrestle, he could announce, he could commentate, he could talk, he of course could manage. Bobby Heenan never meant anything he couldn't do, and man, a heck of a comedian. The Bobby Heenan Show, an all-timer. Absolutely love that back in the day. So there's a lot to like around Bobby Heenan, of course. He's got the Weasel Wisecrack finishing move, a dangerous finishing move, of course. And then on the back, you get the file card, all that kind of fun stuff. The Brain managed a stable of superstars known as the Heenan family. And I always dreamed one day of being a member of that Heenan family. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for me. Not all dreams. You don't make all your dreams. That's why they're dreams. They don't all can't possibly happen. But if you put your mind to it enough, anything can happen, kids. Let me tell you, anything can happen. There you go. But we're going to dive into the Weasel. We're going to dive into the old school classic microphone right here. We've seen this before with the Mean Gene Okerlunds of the world and the retro. But it is a classic microphone. We're here for that. And now we got Bobby Heenan. And Bobby Heenan, no stranger to the retro game. We're going to do some comparisons here in a second. This looks really good. Very cartoony. That's a hallmark of Mattel and Hasbro style. I know some people don't like to hear that, but if you look at it compared to a lot of different stuff, I do feel it has a cartoony style. It's not a bad thing by any means, but he does look a little bit more cartoony here. The blonde hair looking good. He's got a little bit of that people's eyebrow going as well. Got a kind of what the heck's going on face. Got the red bow tie going on. Beautiful bluish silver floral jacket here. You got all the sequins on there. Looks very, very nice. And I like the little touch here with the Bobby Heenan pointing to his head. He's the Brain after all. He even got his ring on there, which I think is a nice touch. Open hand over here, of course, for the microphone. Black suit pants, black shoes on him as well. Waist articulation, head back and forth. And then you got the arms right there for the old Brain mash if you need to. And he also should fit on a ringside collectible stand using discount code Kyle at ringside. What do you know? But very fun to get Bobby Heenan. I'll never turn down a Bobby Heenan figure. As of recording this right now, they just put the new Legends Wave up for pre-order at Target, and Bobby Heenan is a part of that. So definitely a must-have pickup. Now, we got 2 different Epic Toy Bobby Heenans recently. Very similar, but very different at the same time. 3 retros of Bobby Heenan. Man, I would have killed for one of these as a little kid in the Hasbro days. Would have loved to have Bobby Heenan in my retro collection once upon a time, or Hasbro collection once upon a time. I guess I have to live through it nowadays is what we'll have to do. But Bobby Heenan looking very good in the Mattel Retro Wave. I really like this figure a whole lot. But now, who's next? Who's next? Like a young Bill Goldberg. It's King Harley Race, which we're saving the Ultimate Warrior for last. The best for last, I guess, is what we're going to do. But it is King Harley Race. Of course, good friend of mine from back in the day. A lot of independent shows in my area. Of course, I've told the stories a million times. My buddy still runs one of the most successful Midwest indies of all time. And Harley was at a lot of shows back in the day. So I had a couple of run-ins with him over the years, and always a good guy to me. So always cool to get a Harley Race figure, just knowing his Midwest roots and all that kind of fun stuff. But Harley looking good. The King himself didn't quite fit in the Hasbro days, in all honesty, more LJN days, but definitely a welcome addition to this. I have no problems getting Harley in this. Looking very, very nice. Now, what's it say on here? He comes with the King spin. He's going to do the old airplane spin. A dangerous move. Be careful, kids. File card backing, of course, once again. Does say Harley Race was crowned King of WWE by Bobby the Brain Heenan. And once again, a nice tie-in here with this Bobby Heenan. You can have him as his manager if you want to. If you got a retro fig fed going, maybe you do, maybe you don't. Who knows? But looking good. Old Harley here, pulling it out. I'm going to whip out my Harley. It means different things to different people, that's for sure. I know. There it is right there. I used to have a Harley once upon a time. A Harley Fat Bob is what I was driving around. So look for me on the streets once upon a time, riding on a Harley, of course. Get your motor running, headed out on the highway like a young Steppenwolf. That's exactly what I was like, something like that. But Harley Race out of the package, looking very good. Now the helmet, the crown more like it. Sorry, Todd. The crown is not removable, which kind of feels like what we would have had back in the Hasbro day. You think of the Mounties hat, stuff like that. So you can't take that crown off. It is there forever. You got that curly hair on Harley. You got that Harley stoic face. Looks like Harley Race to me. Zero issues with that head at all. Looks just like I would imagine Harley to have. The crown looks very nice as well. Now you do get a very regal cape that would make Lando Calrissian blush over on Bespin. There's no doubt about it. You got the polka dots on top, the white high collar. He's welcome to Club Grayskull or Club KWK any day of the week here with that high collar, looking very good. You got the purplish blue trunks on him. You got the crown on the back as well. You got the purple boots, purple knee pads. You got the high socks. Got the 2 open hands, of course, and arms go all the way around for us. You got the elbow joints on there as well. Waist articulation. You get the old spin if you need to. So that is the action feature if you do need it. This seemingly just has a little bit of stretch. It's one of those things where you got to uncord it there. Nobody ever wants to untie it. It never ties back again. I would have liked to seen this be more of that like elastic cloth band, almost like a rubber band out of kind of cloth material. We've seen that before. That would have been good on here. Not in the cards, though, for whatever reason. They did get Harley's tattoos on his arms, though. I always thought that was a cool thing. We've had Harley's tattoos messed up a time or two as well, but he does come with the spin feature, which isn't bad. This ain't a bad Harley Race at all. Very cool to get handsome Harley Race in this King persona this time around. And, of course, should fit on a Mattel ringside collectible stand. What do you know it? Harley and the Bobby the Brain, they're ready to ride off into the sunset together. But now we're going to finish it off with the all-timer, of course, the Ultimate Warrior with Intercontinental title belt. First time we got a title belt, isn't it? Or did we get one with the Hulkster? I think we got one with Hulk in that Zeus pack or something, if I'm not mistaken. I think we got one with him. Maybe, maybe not. It's all running together. But first time we've had this belt, I can guarantee that. Warrior looking only like a Warrior could look on the package. Classic Legends logo. Got the figure with the Intercontinental title. He comes with the Ultimate Lariat. It's like a crossover of the Ultimate Warrior and Stan Hansen. It's the Ultimate Lariat. So heads are going to be knocked off. There's no doubt about it. On the back, you got the file card, cross-sell, all that usual stuff we've seen. What's it say about the Ultimate Warrior? Ultimate Warrior won the Intercontinental Championship in 31 seconds at the inaugural SummerSlam. Oh, shout out to the Honky Tonk Man, still the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Shout out to Honky Tonk Man's son. He's a watcher of the channel here. He's commented on a couple of videos. So shout out to the Honky Tonk Man and his son for being fans of the channel, watching the channel as well. Let's get some more Honky Tonk Man figures. I'm not opposed to that. I've told the story before. Honky Tonk Man, I brought a tape of his theme song in for music day at school back in like 5th grade. I said, oh, everybody's got to hear this banger. It's the Honky Tonk Man. And I think my music teacher gave me an A immediately is what happened. But now we get the Ultimate Warrior here. And oh my gosh. Now I remember seeing this at San Diego Comic-Con, but man, oh man, This is a wild face on the Ultimate Warrior. I don't know if I approve of this face paint here. Now, I approve of the face paint. I approve face paint for anybody. Todd's wearing face paint right now. I think it looks good. I also like those faces drawn in paint on all your toes as well, Todd McFarlane. This Warrior, man, oh man, the hair looks good. I think it's the mouth and the teeth there. He almost has like an anime style to it right here. So looking extra wild on this Ultimate Warrior. I hate to say I don't like the face on this, but I don't like the face on this Warrior. That's some hard times, Daddy. That's some hard times for a Warrior fan to admit. But here we are. That Warrior is looking pretty darn rough, if you ask me. Now, Warrior does got 2 Fists of Fury, which is good to see. He also has that lariat arm. Man, as a kid, I would have loved to have one of the Ultimate Warriors in this positioning. Ultimate Warrior 1, you had to have it. You played with it, but you were like, I just don't like this jumper. I don't like this jumper. Then Ultimate Warrior 2 came out, and you're like, okay, I like this, but I don't. I don't like that Hulk Hogan Gorilla Slam position, but it's a little bit better playability. But then the Purple Warrior came in the Hasbro days, and that was my favorite Warrior. That was more of what I imagined, but this would have been amazing as a kid to have. I would have liked maybe one of those other heads instead of this one, though. But still very cool. And I do like old school Warrior, Intercontinental or before Warrior. There's a little bit less glitz and glamour, less neon, but there's something magical about that time. And I like that we're getting action figures that represent that time frame as well. Most recently, of course, the LJN inspired Coliseum collection. A lot of fun with that. Now, a good tan on here. He's got his armbands. He's got the wristbands going on. You got the fringe down there on the boots, the white boots. We got all the hallmarks of the Ultimate Warrior here. And then a beautiful Intercontinental title, which hides his blue trunks, which look very nice. You do get the waist articulation, of course, for that lariat. Watch out for it. Just knock your head right off. Arm all the way around. Head a little side to side, but that's it. And that's really all she wrote as far as articulation here. Does fit on a ringside stand as well. I do like this Intercontinental Championship belt, though. Very old school throwback to the old Hasbro. So many people have the old Hasbro one where the winged eagle is totally worn off of it. It's just kind of evaporated over the years. This one is very cool, very nicely inspired by that as well. So I do like to see that. That gives a little extra pizzazz to that Ultimate Warrior. And man, oh man, how much, if you were a Hasbro kid, if you would have loved to have an Intercontinental title belt to go with your world title. Instead, I always had to pretend with the Galoob figure belts. I used those for a lot of different titles and stuff. You had to make do with what you had back in the day. And all these kids, they get all this glitz and glamour nowadays. You and me watching, and Todd too over there on the couch. We had it tough. We had to use this imagination over there, and that's what we had to do. And it came from our heart, and it came from our head. Never forget, never forget. But here we are, the Ultimate Warrior, looking good, but not great, and I hate to say it. But if I had to quickly put this set in order of favorites, I'm going Bobby Heenan at number 1. I'm going to go Harley Race at number 2. You know I'm a sucker for a cape. And then I'm going to go Virgil at number 3 and Ultimate Warrior at number 4. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is real life, but it would be. This is a strong set, a lot stronger than on paper. And getting in these hands, I actually like all 4 of these outside of the Warrior even more than I thought I would. I can't believe it, but man, the head sculpt on this Warrior really takes it down a couple notches for me. I love the Bobby. I feel like the Bobby looks better than what I saw at San Diego Comic-Con, and I feel like the Warrior looks worse. I don't know why that is. It's that glass. It's that glass, I guess. I don't know. Harley is a fun one here, and Virgil, one that really needed back in the day. Not a Hulk Hogan, not an Ultimate Warrior, not an Andre the Giant, but somebody you need in your fig fed, and it's cool to right that wrong all these years later. So a wild set right here. It's always a wild set when Ultimate Warrior is number 4. He's in last place. I don't know what that means. It's a really good set, a really bad set. I'm not exactly sure, but this would be my rankings. Be interested to hear your rankings in the comments down below. But there it is. Let me know your thoughts on this one. An interesting set. There's no doubt about it. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to both my YouTube channels. Check out Patreon YouTube channel memberships for even more content. Check out my weekly podcast, of course, with my buxom wife. Yes, buxom, Todd. That's what we said. We got her going on over there. It is the Kyle Peterson Show every single Tuesday, wherever podcasts are found, with video cast on YouTube. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and the Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com. Of course, check it all out. Of course, that's it. WWE Retro 4-pack. I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?